This lesson is going to teach you how to create charts, or graphs as they're probably better known as. Okay, so graphs help you to visually represent data better. Okay, so if you reopen the formulas activity you probably just finished doing on the Fully Sick Computers payroll, reopen that and we'll get started. Okay. So first up, let's just make a really simple graph of the different things that each person has sold. So we highlight the data we want. We might just do the first name actually. Alright, and we've got that highlighted, including our titles up here. Then we go to Insert, and we choose Charts. So we've got pie chart, line chart, bar chart. Some of them are better at representing data than others, depending on what the data is. In this case, we're going to use a column chart, because that's probably the useful one for the moment. And we're going to put this 2D one in here. And you can already see it's being generated for us. And you can see the difference in some of these. Some of them look a little bit more fancy than others. Okay, and some of them don't really work very well. So generally stick with the these two first ones, I reckon. We'll just go with this one here. And here we have our chart. Okay, so you can clearly see that Tony sells the most, what is this, grey cables. And Jenny sells the most number of tablets. Okay, so that's why we like charts. It makes it easy to understand. So let's just scroll down a bit and move this chart somewhere useful. So to move your chart, be careful not to click on any of the actual parts of it. Try and find some white space on the chart. So up here would work. And we're just going to move it down here. We'll go right down to there. Now we'll keep scrolling down. Okay, now you'll notice there are a couple of extra features on here. We've got this adds some elements to our chart. This helps us change color, and this allows us to modify our data. So to start with, we're going to try and change our title up here. So we're going to call this one Employees Sales, and in brackets items. Should probably make that a capital I. Okay, so we know it's a comparison of their items. And if we really don't like the colors on this thing, we can change the colors up here to some different sets of colors, or you can customize each of them individually, but I reckon they'll be fine how they are at the moment. And you can even change the style of the chart. You can make it black, or have, well, that looks pretty cool. Let's go with that one. Go with that. Okay, now notice we don't have any axes at the moment, so we need to change that because that would lose us marks. So we're going to add some elements, and we're going to choose axis titles, and that's pretty good. I reckon that's enough. So if we go down here, we're going to title this one here, and we're going to call this Employees. And of course we're going to do this one number of sales, no.sales of sales. There we go. Alright, next I'm going to show you how to use a pie graph. Now pie graphs are generally good for just comparing one main set of data. So I'll show you how that works. We're just going to highlight firstly our first names. Now if you hold control, you can choose a column that is not directly next to you. So we're going to move all the way over here to total number of items sold, and holding down control now, click and drag down. Now you can let go of everything. So you've got first name selected and total number of items sold. Okay, now we're going to make a pie chart so we can compare who sells the most. I'm going to open this up, and we might even make it 3D because 3D is cool. There we go. And we got all our settings like we did before. We can even shove a tag on it. That's pretty cool. There we go. We've got the actual percentage chucked in there. And let's move that down again. So click on some white space, move it down to there. And we're going to call this one total number of items sold. That's a pretty good name. I reckon we'll just stick with that. And everything's already labeled for us, so we don't really have to play with anything, which is handy as. Although if we wanted to, we could change anything here using these settings. But we're not gonna, because that works fine. Okay, so we got these two graphs right here. So you've learned how to graph lots of data all together, and you've also learned how to select individual columns for graphing as well. Okay, so that's graphs. Make sure you've made these two, and once you've done that, you can save your work and move on.